this a couple times now, and you think it would get easier, but I told somebody earlier today that it doesn't get easier. It gets more real. More real that Bradie's not going to come home. Like I said, I've done this a couple times, and I want to do it a little differently today. I want to start out with, if you know me, because you know me from Newport L&P, I've worked there for 13 years. It's a place I'm really proud to work for. It's something that I hold dear to my heart. If you know me and you're proud because perhaps I work with one of your parents, or because you've seen me at a Newport event, can you raise your hand? How many of you recognize me from Newport? A few of you. Okay. The next thing, for many, many years, I helped run the youth football program here in town. I coordinated for many years. I volunteered, and I loved the time that I got to spend with the young football players. So if you know me from the youth football program, maybe I helped coordinate while you played or one of your brothers played. Can you raise your hand if you know me that way? A few more of you. A few more of you recognize me that way. Those are two parts of my life that I'm very proud of. Things that I had a choice in. I made those decisions to work at Newport. I made those decisions to spend hours on the football field for my youth football players. But some things in our life we don't have control over. We can't change. We can't go back and undo. So now, to test my theory, I want you to raise your hand if you know me and you recognize me because my son Bradie died in a car accident. Raise your hand if you know me that way. Look at all the hands in the air. More of you know me for the single worst event and recognize me as the lady who lost her kid in a car wreck than for any of the good choices and the good things about my life where I've devoted my work, devoting those hours on the football field. I will forever be the lady who lost her kid in a car wreck, and there's nothing I can do to change that. There's nothing I can go back and undo that single moment when my life forever changed. Today, you're going to hear me say, hold on, I might be all jacked up. I told you it was going to be worse today than the last time. My name is Angie Clements, and on April 20th, 2015, just 543 days ago, my son Bradie didn't survive his drive home from work. Bradie was 19 years old, and he was an amazing kid. Many of you in here right now either knew Bradie, or maybe you know Blake and Ben, who both go to MHS. On that April night, Bradie was driving home from work. That he worked the 3 to 11 shift at Kawasaki. And he just got off work. In his phone records, his last call was to his girlfriend Katie in Fairfax. He told her he loved her and that he'd be home soon. At 11:45, Bradie passed a slower-moving car. He lost control of his 2004 F-350 Ford. He spun out of control. He crossed over the ditch you're going to see in the pictures. And he was ejected on that hillside. You heard how Dell found him that night. My son died instantly on a cold, lonely, dark hillside, and he did not have a seatbelt on. Today you're going to hear me say the word never many, many times through my speech, and in fact, never is the word I want you guys to say with me, all together. I want all of us to say the word never right now. Ready? Never. Everybody's, I didn't hear it. Everybody. Never. And I want you to hear how that word sounds coming out of your mouth, just so you understand that never's a really tough word. It cuts you way, way down deep in a place that you can't even see or begin to know where it's at until it happens to you. I will never see my son again. I will never know Bradie past the age of 19. I will never get to watch Bradie get married and have children. My other two sons, Blake and Ben, they'll never get to have Bradie at their graduation. And the day they get married, Bradie won't be standing beside him. My husband was an amazing man, will never get to take his son deer hunting again. Something Darren and Bradie did every year from the time Bradie was old enough to walk out in the field with his dad. Darren will never get to do that again. And his friends, they're moving on. They're juniors in college now, and they're going to be graduating, and they're going to be getting married, and they're going to be having babies, and Bradie won't be there. He won't be at their wedding dances. He won't be there to bring them a gift when they get married and have babies. Never's a word that's forever a part of my language now, my vocabulary, now that I'm a mom who lost a child in an accident. Most young people like you, don't realize that bad things can happen to you. You think bad things only happen to bad people and stupid people and people who do stupid things. So today I'd like to demonstrate to you how bad things can happen to people just like you. I need all the young people to stand up. You probably need a break. You've probably been studying. Go ahead, everybody stand up. All the young people. Does that feel good? Probably feels good after sitting. Bradie had 2 parents, 2 brothers, and a girlfriend who loved him very much. If you have someone at home who loves you, I want you to keep standing. Bradie lived his entire life in Northwest Missouri and graduated here from MHS. If you live in Northwest Missouri or Southwest Iowa and plan to graduate from high school in this area, please keep standing. Bradie attended this docudrama as a sophomore. If you're here today and you're listening and you're paying attention, I want you to keep standing. Bradie was driving over the speed limit. If you've ever drove or rode in a car that was over the legal speed limit, please keep standing. Bradie loved to make people laugh, and he loved to be with his friends. If you like to laugh and have fun with your friends, please keep standing. Bradie loved to be outdoors, hunting, and being at the lake with his friends, or working with his dogs. If you like to spend time outdoors too, please keep standing. Bradie loved driving his Ford truck and riding around with friends. If you've ever driven a vehicle or been a passenger in a vehicle with your friends, please keep standing. Bradie had plans to attend a competition hunt with his dog Jake the weekend after his funeral. If you have plans this coming weekend with your friends and family, please keep standing. Bradie loved Polly Ice Pizza, Taco John's, and McDonald's. If you ever eat at these places, please keep standing. Bradie was driving home from work and passed a slower moving car. If you've ever been in a car that passed another car, please keep standing. Now I want you to look around. How many of you are still standing? And I just gave you 10 things that you and every one of your friends has in common with Bradie, and he's gone. He's never coming home. And if it can happen to him just driving home from work, it can happen to every one of you. Any one of you at any given point in time. And that's why you have to be smart when you're behind the wheel, because if an accident can happen without drugs, alcohol, and texting, you're only increasing your chances of dying in a car accident if you're not smart. Go ahead and sit back down. My message to you today is that you must wear your seatbelt and you must speak up for yourself. Tell your friends and families to put their phone away if they're texting or driving, or offer to text for them if something can't wait. Offer to text for them if you're the passenger. Take their keys if they've been drinking or driving, or drinking or using drugs. Be brave and bold to call your family if you need a ride home. You know, your parents might get mad if you've been drinking at a party. I guarantee if Blake and Ben called me this weekend and said, "Mom, I'm drinking at a party, come get me," I'd probably be mad, but it wouldn't last long. And I'll tell you why. And if you call it, I'm going to tell you why. But if your parents get mad, I want you to have them call me. I'll give everyone in this room my cell phone number. And if you call your parents for a ride ever, and they get mad, you have them call me. Because you know what? I will tell them. I will tell them what it's like to sit in Bradie's bedroom And I will tell them what it's like to beg God to bring him home to me. I will tell them what it's like to open his dresser drawers and pray that I can pull out one of his t-shirts and it'll still smell like him. I will tell you what it's like. I will tell them what it's like to lay in bed night after night for the last year and a half and pray that just one more time I would hear that darn loud Ford truck drive up the driveway one more time. I will tell them what it's like to walk through my home that's covered with pictures. People sometimes make fun of me even because we take family pictures so much. But my walls are covered in all these pictures of my beautiful son who's never coming home. And we will never, ever get to take another family picture with all 5 of us. Never. The next one will have a blank spot in it. There will always be a blank spot in my family picture. It won't matter what picture's taken. I'm going to look because there should be 5 of us. I bet your parents wouldn't stay mad at you for very long if I told them what it's like, even if they had a clue what it's like to bury a child. I never want your parents to know this kind of pain. When you think this can't happen and they can't knock on your door, like Dale said, I've done this, I've been here, I've been a sponsor for New Corps. I never imagined it would happen to me. But it was Dale and it was Darren who knocked on our door to tell us our son was never coming home. And I don't know where Vince Shelby's at. The coroner. Is Vince here? He's the man who put my son in a body bag. And he delivered him to Graham Funeral Home. And Jeff Graham, that man, he put my son back together so I could say goodbye. And so that all of his friends could see him one more time. And my pastor, Pastor Paul, that amazing man right there. I believe him when he tells me my son is in heaven, and I will see my son again when I get to heaven too. So if you think these men don't do the jobs that they talked about, they really do this stuff. They help put shattered lives back together. Although they'll never be the same. There's that word never again. Never be the same. They do the best that they can to help people like us who would love to go back and change one moment in time. Please be bold and be brave. Speak up for safe driving. Buckle up. Put your phones away. Call your parents. Call your friends. Tell your friends. Do it for the people who love you, the people who want you to come home. Most importantly, do it for my son. Because he's not going to come home again. So if you can't do it, if he can't do it, just do it for Bradie, okay? Thank you. Oh, and by the way, Dale really does hand you something to prove that your child's not coming home. That's Bradie's wallet. That's how he knew my son. This is what he handed my husband so that we knew our son was really gone. It really happens.